The gods and the maidens resided in a paradise known as heaven. Perhaps weary of the monotonous life she lived, one of the maidens accidentally wandered into the divine treasure vault and took one of its forbidden relics, the forbidden chalice. Though she knew such an act would never be forgiven, she still drank the water contained within. The moment it touched her lips, an overwhelming sensation of pleasure spread through her entire body. From then on, she frequently sneaked into the vault, stealing divine artifacts. Among them, a holy lance capable of tearing through magic and a sacred dress that could ward off destruction and calamities. One day, as the maiden ventured into the vault once more, she unknowingly took the forbidden scripture, a sacred text that foretold the fate of the world. However, her actions did not escape God's watchful eyes. Enraged by her blasphemy, God immediately decreed her expulsion from paradise. Through divine judgment, God proclaimed that until all the sacred power within her had faded, she would remain unforgiven and condemned to a life of atonement in the mortal realm. As her divine power waned, her once radiant angelic wings withered. Her hair lost its luster and her skin paled. With the last remnants of her celestial grace fading, the condemned maiden transformed into the condemned witch. Consumed by resentment, she channeled her fury into dark magic and struck back at God. Yet, before the divine, all attacks were rendered meaningless illusions. Witnessing the witch's continued defiance, God resolved to annihilate her entirely. However, before divine judgment could be carried out, an angel stepped forth to intervene, Lucifer. Lucifer believed that divine beings should not respond to defiance with violence. He argued that the true fault lay not with the maiden but with the existence of the forbidden relics themselves, which should have been destroyed. However, God perceived Lucifer's reasoning as a challenge to divine authority. Thus, Lucifer was forced to lead a rebellion against God, rallying a host of angels to his cause. Despite their efforts, the battle's outcome was inevitable. Lucifer and his followers were defeated. As punishment, God stripped Lucifer of his divine power, transforming him into a Darklord. His once golden halo darkened into a deep crimson hue. The angels who had sided with Lucifer were also cast out of heaven, exiled to the mortal realm. To prevent their divine essence from completely fading, Lucifer gathered his fallen power and reforged their halos into halos of the Darklord, granting them a new form of strength. Among them were Darklord Amdusk, Darklord Nosten, and two saintly maidens. One became the indulged Darklord, the other the capricious Darklord. Rescued by Lucifer's power, the condemned witch also transformed, becoming the condemned Darklord. Yet among the fallen, Nosten was different. His wings remained pure white, unlike his brethren. In truth, he was still a devout follower of God. Through a hidden altar of the fallen, he secretly maintained communication with the divine. Observing the movements of the Darklords in the mortal realm, God would periodically purify Nosten's body with holy water, cleansing him of corruption and preventing his soul from fully succumbing to darkness. However, his betrayal was eventually discovered by the condemned Darklord. Upon his return to the mortal world, she used the power of the forbidden chalice to punish him. As the number of Darklords continued to grow, so too did Lucifer's power. Gathering the darkness within them, he ascended to a new form. He became the first Darklord. With his transformation complete, the war between the fallen angels and God had officially begun.